All right, 19 films have been submitted for contention for the upcoming 86th Annual Academy Awards. The final nominees will be selected from this list: Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, The Croods, Despicable Me 2, Epic, Ernest and Celestine, The Fake, Freebirds, Frozen, Kumba, The Legend of Cirilla, A Letter to Momo, Monsters University, O Apostolo, Planes, forgive me for this one, Cruella, Magi Madoka Magica, the movie Rebellion, Rio 2096, A Story of Love and Fury, The Smurfs 2, Turbo, and The Wind Rises. John, which of the films on this list stand out to you as frontrunners?
A couple of them stand out to me. One of the things that jumps out to me, first of all, not the best year for animated films. There are some very, very good films on this list, don't get me wrong, but there's no WALL-E on this list. You know, there's no Lion King on this list. There's no Up on this list. Still, some very entertaining films. I think Monster University is going to have to be considered one of the contenders. It's Pixar. It is a very good film, even though I didn't think it was as good as the original Monsters, Inc. It was still a very charming, very good film. Despicable Me 2 was better than I thought it would be. And I think the other one that really has a shot is probably going to be The Wind Rises.
Yes.
From Miyazaki, who also did like the Moving Castle, Spirited Away, Poyo, if I'm pronouncing that right. Yep. He has made, and this is The Wind Rises, for those of you who don't know anything about it, very, very different film from what we're used to seeing from him, because we're used to seeing fantasy worlds, right? This is actually, The Wind Rises is actually a film that doesn't feel like it should be an animated film. It feels like it should be a 1920s live-action dramatic piece. It's about the guy who designed the original infamous Japanese Zero fighter plane. And it's got a lot of controversy in Japan right now because of the pacifist movement versus the remilitarization movement. So it's a really timely film. Beautiful, really nice. But those are the ones that stand out to me. Schnepp, when you look at this list, which ones stand out to you as being really possible strong contenders?
Honestly, Despicable Me 2 was so thoroughly entertaining.
It was fun.
You just mentioning it made me smile and be filled with love for those minions. So it's sort of like, I know I feel like a robot, you know. The minions make me laugh, like everyone else. We're all like walking, like hug a minion, you know. I saw a minion at Kamikaze, I instantly started smiling. So, I mean, that to me is such a fun, those characters are so fun, and that movie was so much fun to watch, and I love the story that I would be happy if it won an Oscar. I mean, that's the standout one for me out of that entire list. And yeah, it's kind of a little bit of it's not mediocre by any means. It's just not like, oh, those 5 movies. It's sort of not, you know, none of them really rise to the top. Wind Rises definitely is one of them. But.
Right. Dennis?
Yeah, Despicable Me 2 was my favorite out of that list. I like Monsters University. Yeah, there's no like big ones. I mean, last year we had a pretty strong year for animated movies, even though the best one didn't win. You had Brave writing that Pixar name, but you had Wreck-It Ralph, and you had a Paranorman, and just a bunch of really good ones. Yeah, this year's
Frankenweenie too.
Standout movies. Yeah.
So this year's I would agree a bit weaker. Yeah, I think Monsters University on the Pixar name is going to be a front runner. Maybe Frozen. I haven't seen it yet. It opens the end of this month.
I'm glad you brought that up. I also have not seen Frozen. Right. Our Crystal Kennedy has. She adored it. The critics are loving Frozen right now. I'm going to see it next week. But the only reason I didn't mention it as a front runner is because I haven't actually seen it yet. Right. But everybody I know who has seen it is talking really highly about it.
Right. Also, that list, I agree. I haven't seen Frozen. And also, I mean, a few of them, I don't even know what they are. Like 19 animated films, a few I didn't see on purpose. Like 2096 Rio, is that a Rio sequel, or is that some futuristic thing?
No, it is not a Rio sequel.
Okay, because I was like, Rio, was it those weird birds again, but in the future? Because I definitely won't see that. But if it's some kind of crazy science fiction film, now I'm going to hunt it down and see it. Is that what it is? I don't even know what it is.
It's definitely not a sequel to Rio.
Okay.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.